Alright, buckle up, because something insane is happening in the EV world right now. For years, Canada's electric car market has been dominated by American and European brands. You think Tesla, Ford, BMW, maybe Hyundai and Kia, but now a wave of Chinese electric vehicles is preparing to enter the Canadian market. And honestly, some of these cars are so advanced that they might completely shake up the entire industry. We're talking crazy range, luxury interiors, massive screens, insane performance, and prices that could embarrass cars twice their cost. And today we're counting down the top 3 Chinese EVs that are coming to Canada. These cars might look normal at first, but wait until you see what's inside them. Bro, some of these specs are actually absurd. It has 1,300 horsepower, starting at number 3, the Geely Z2. Now at first glance, you might think this is just another small electric crossover, something similar to a Nissan Leaf or maybe a Chevy Bolt. But wait a second, because this thing is secretly one of the most important affordable EVs coming to Canada. The Geely EX2 is built on Geely's new electric architecture and designed to be a compact urban SUV that focuses on efficiency, affordability, and practicality. And if you're wondering who Geely is, this is the same company that owns Volvo, Polestar, Lotus, and multiple other global brands. So yeah, this isn't some random startup. These guys know exactly what they're doing. Let's start with the exterior, because the EX2 actually looks pretty sharp for a budget EV. The front design has a clean closed grille, like most modern electric vehicles, with slim LED headlights that stretch across the front, giving it a futuristic appearance. The daytime running lights create a light signature that honestly looks similar to some modern Volvos, which makes sense because Geely shares technology with them. The body proportions are compact but sporty. The car measures roughly 4.3 meters in length, around 1.83 meters wide, and about 1.64 meters tall. That puts it right in the same size category as a Hyundai Kona Electric or a Chevrolet Bolt EUV. But here's where things get interesting. Despite being a relatively affordable EV, the Geely X2 gets aerodynamic sculpting on the sides, a floating roof design, and LED lighting all around. The wheels range from 17 to 18 inches depending on the trim level. And honestly, for a car expected to cost somewhere around 30,000 to 35,000 Canadian dollars, this design looks way more premium than you'd expect. I mean, seriously, compare this to some older compact crossovers from American brands, and it almost feels unfair. Step inside, and the interior is surprisingly modern. The dashboard is completely digital with a large central infotainment screen around 12 inches. There's also a digital driver display behind the steering wheel that shows speed, battery information, navigation, and driver assistance features. The layout is very minimalist, kind of like a Tesla Model 3, but with a bit more physical control. Materials include soft touch panels, synthetic leather seats, and ambient lighting on higher trims. And here's the funny thing. For a so-called budget EV, this car still gives you heated seats, a panoramic roof option, wireless phone charging, and over-the-air software updates. Wait, what? Over-the-air updates in a budget car? That's something you normally expect from Tesla or luxury German cars. This is exactly why Chinese EVs are making everyone nervous right now. Performance-wise, the Geely X2 focuses more on efficiency than crazy speed, but it's still respectable. The electric motor produces around 150 to 200 horsepower depending on configuration, and torque comes in instantly like every EV. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour takes around 7.5 seconds. That's not supercar territory, but for a compact crossover, it's perfectly fine. The battery pack is around 60k kWh and delivers a driving range of roughly 400 kilometers on the WLTP cycle. In real-world Canadian driving, you might expect around 330 to 360 kilometers, which is still very solid for daily commuting. Charging is also competitive. Using a fast charger, the EX2 can go from about 30% to 80% in roughly 30 minutes. That means you can grab a coffee, check your phone, and boom, the car is ready for another few hundred kilometers. Technology and safety are where Geely really pushes things further. The EX2 comes with adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, automatic emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, and a 360-degree camera system. Some trims even include semi-autonomous highway driving assistance. Bro, this level of tech used to be reserved for luxury cars costing $60,000 or $70,000. Now here's the big question. How much is this thing actually going to cost in Canada? Early estimates suggest somewhere around $32,000 to $35,000 Canadian dollars, depending on trim and incentives. That means it could undercut many competitors while offering similar technology. Imagine choosing between this and something like a base Tesla Model 3, which costs significantly more. So I want to ask you guys something. If both cars were sitting in a showroom, would you pick the Tesla or this? Geely, comment below, because honestly, this could be a very tough decision for some buyers. Moving up to number 2 on our list, the Zeekr 7X. And this is where things get crazy. If the Geely EX2 was the affordable entry point, the Zeekr 7X is the full luxury electric SUV that might actually scare brands like BMW, Audi, and even Tesla. Zeekr is a premium electric brand created by Geely, and they have been launching some seriously impressive vehicles recently. The 7X is a large electric SUV designed to compete with vehicles like the Tesla Model Y, BMW iX, and Audi Q6 e-tron. But wait until you see the specs, because on paper this thing is an absolute monster. First, the design. The Zeekr 7X looks aggressive, futuristic, and very high-end. The front features ultra-thin LED matrix headlights with a full-width light bar that stretches across the vehicle. The hood has strong sculpted lines and the bumper includes large aerodynamic air channels. From the side, the SUV looks muscular and planted. It sits on large wheels ranging from 20 to 22 inches and has flush door handles just like many modern luxury EVs. The dimensions are pretty substantial too. The 7X is roughly 4.8 meters long with a wheelbase around 2.9 meters. That gives it interior space comparable to many mid-sized luxury SUVs. The rear design is also stunning with a full LED taillight bar and a sculpted tailgate that makes the car look wide and futuristic. Now let's talk about the interior, because this is where Zeekr goes completely overboard. Open the door and you're greeted by a massive central display that can be over 15 inches in size. The instrument cluster is fully digital, and there's even a heads-up display projected onto the windshield. Materials include real leather, aluminum trim, and soft-touch surfaces everywhere. There's ambient lighting running across the dashboard and doors, and the seats are ventilated, heated, and even offer massage functions. And bro, the rear seats might be even more impressive. Some versions include reclining rear seats, rear entertainment screens, and a premium sound system with over 20 speakers. This is luxury that feels closer to something like a Mercedes EQE SUV than a typical mainstream EV. Performance is where the Zeekr 7X starts showing off. The dual-motor all-wheel drive version produces around 500 horsepower. Let that sink in for a second. That's sports car level power in a family SUV. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour happens in roughly 3.8 seconds. Yes, this big SUV is almost as quick as a Tesla Model Y performance and faster than many gasoline sports cars. The battery pack is also massive. Depending on the configuration, the range could reach up to 650 kilometers on the WLTP cycle. That's incredible. And the charging system supports ultra-fast charging thanks to an 800-volt architecture. That means you can add hundreds of kilometers of range in about 15 to 20 minutes at a high-power charging station. Technology is another area where Zeekr pushes boundaries. The SUV includes advanced driver assistance powered by multiple cameras, radar sensors, and sometimes even LiDAR depending on the version. That enables features like highway autopilot, automated parking, and intelligent navigation systems. The infotainment system runs a powerful processor capable of gaming-level graphics and smooth animations. Now here's the dramatic moment. Guess the price. Seriously, pause for a second and think about it. With this level of luxury, this performance, and this technology, what would you expect? Maybe $80,000, $90,000? While early expectations suggest the Zeekr 7X could enter markets around $60,000 to $70,000 Canadian dollars, depending on specifications. And if that actually happens, it would seriously undercut many Gurma. It has 1,300 horsepower and luxury EVs. Imagine walking into a dealership and choosing between a BMW iX and Audi Q6 e-tron, or the Zeekr 7X with similar performance and possibly more technology for less money. That's exactly why the arrival of Chinese EVs is causing so much buzz right now. And finally, we arrive at number 1 on our list, the Leapmotor C10. This is the car that might become the real game changer in Canada's EV market. Leapmotor might not be as famous globally yet, but the company has been growing incredibly fast and recently partnered with major international manufacturers to expand globally. The C10 is a mid-size electric SUV designed to compete directly with vehicles like the Tesla Model Y, Hyundai Ioniq 5, and Ford Mustang Mach-E. But the strategy here is simple. Offer similar performance, similar technology, similar space, but for less money. From the outside, the Leapmotor C10 looks clean and modern with a futuristic vibe. The front features a full-width LED light bar connecting the headlights, giving it a sleek, tech-oriented appearance. The body lines are smooth and aerodynamic, and the SUV sits on large 20-inch wheels depending on the trim. The vehicle measures roughly 4.74 meters long and has a wheelbase close to 2.82 meters, which gives it a spacious interior layout. Inside the cabin, the design is extremely minimalist. The dashboard is dominated by a huge central touchscreen measuring around 14.6 inches. The driver gets a digital instrument display, and the entire interface is powered by a high-performance Qualcomm chip similar to what you'd find in premium EVs. That means fast menus, smooth graphics, and advanced voice control features. Materials inside the C10 are also impressive. Soft touch panels, eco-friendly materials. A panoramic glass roof and ambient lighting create a modern atmosphere. The seats are designed for comfort with heating and ventilation available. Rear passengers get plenty of legroom thanks to the long wheelbase. Performance is solid too. The C10 uses a rear-wheel drive electric motor producing around 230 horsepower. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour takes about 7 seconds, which is perfectly fine for a family SUV. The battery pack is around 69 kilowatt and delivers a range close to 530 kilometers on the CLTC cycle. In real-world conditions, you might see around 420 to 450 kilometers. Charging supports fast DC charging, which can bring the battery from around 30% to 80% in roughly 30 minutes. That's pretty standard for modern EVs, but still very convenient for road trips. Safety and technology are where the C10 really impresses. The car includes advanced driver assistance systems such as adaptive cruise control, lane centering, automatic emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, and a 360-degree camera system. Higher trims even include advanced autonomous driving hardware capable of future software upgrades. And now we get to the part that might shock everyone: the price. Early estimates suggest the Leapmotor C10 could launch in international markets somewhere around $35,000 to $40,000 Canadian dollars, depending on incentives and configuration. If that price holds true, this car would directly compete with smaller EVs while offering the space and technology of vehicles that normally cost much more. Just imagine this scenario. You walk into a dealership in Canada and you have three options sitting in front of you: the futuristic Leapmotor C10, the high-tech Zeekr 7X, and the affordable Geely EX2. Three completely different electric vehicles, all packed with technology, all offering impressive range, and all coming from Chinese manufacturers that many people barely knew about a few years ago. So now, the real question is this: if these cars actually arrive in Canada at competitive prices, could they disrupt the EV market the same way Japanese cars disrupted the American market decades ago? And more importantly, which one would you actually buy? Would you go for the affordable Geely EX2, the luxury powerhouse Zeekr 7X, or the balanced all-rounder Leapmotor C10? Let me know in the comments, because honestly, the EV war is about to get a lot more interesting. And if this is the future of electric vehicles, bro, things are about to get wild.